Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good early morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope everything is going well with you guys. Hope this show finds you in great spirits. We got some breaking news, some new updates. Yes, I know it's very, very early in the morning. I swear I'm still getting a sleep out of my eyes myself. But we do have some big, great news here that I'm very, very excited about. And we're here to talk about it. Okay? We have got to get into this conversation. So come on in here, get in here, get in here. The water's just fine. Get your coffee, etc. We got some things to talk about. We got quite the morning, by the way, because I did not know that we were going to get this great, fantastic news this morning. And what a way to get up in the morning, because I am very, very happy about this news. We're going to talk about it. We got some news here. So before we get into everything, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms like X, Facebook, like the other platforms, okay? It's too early. Cobwebs. I need to scoop these cobwebs out of my brain. But please go hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Hit that like button down below if you're watching on YouTube. Of course, if you're not watching on YouTube and want to follow me on my other platforms like X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, hit that follow button on those platforms, please, and thank you. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, crush that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. Go over to my secondary channel as well, the Pascal Show Clips, where I'm going to be doing summarized breakdowns of our lives, especially the big shows over there as well, and taking out clips from the from shows, from moments over here, right over there. So go over there and crush that subscribe button. Anyway, hit that join button down below, become a member. If you want to support the channel even further, go check out my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. It's in the ticker down there, going across the screen as we speak. Okay, we got to get into this. Subscribe. Please and thank you, okay? We back in here. We back in the conversation. And we back here for some really, really, in my personal opinion, some great news. Bryson Muir. 14-year-old Bryson Muir. Everyone was very concerned about the whereabouts of this young man. He was over at his grandmother's house. Actually, before he showed up to his grandmother's house, he pulled up to his grandmother's house looking like this. I thought I had it up, but I did not. Okay. His grandmother, of course, became very, very concerned about how he showed up on her front doorstep. Black eye, busted lip, swollen face. He was in very, very bad shape. Grandmother said, "What the heck is going on here?" Of course, he said, "Grandma, don't worry about it. I deserved it." Of course, no matter what, regardless of how he responded or not, she said, "This is not good." And of course, she called 911. She called police. But by the time she was calling 911 and notifying them about how Bryson looked, he was already running back into his mother's car, occupied with not only just his mother, Daniel Muir, okay, the father, and a random unknown man in the back seat. He had already run into that car. They say 4 minutes later, police pulled that car over, this white Chevy Suburban, pulled it over on the side of the road to look inside of it to see if they could find this young boy looking exactly like this as the report was claimed, and he was nowhere to be found. Of course, everybody wanted to know what the heck is going on here. What happened to this young man? Why did he look like this? And second off, why did he disappear? Now, we already know a lot more about this man, Daniel Muir, okay, ex-NFL player. He played for the Colts, okay? He's a very, very big man. And he's a very, very big man with very deep pockets and very strong beliefs, religious beliefs. Let's just say that. So he has a compound that is owned by a religious organization. Okay, Servant Leaders Foundation, my memory serves me correctly. They have been basically been hiding out the parents, and I guess now we're starting to learn. And Bryson was held on this compound, not willing to show proof of life to police, not willing to cooperate with police. And of course, this is what spawns off or sparks off many of us wanting to know what the heck happened to Bryson, what the heck happened in this situation. Did something devious, something sinister happen? Something tragic happened to this young boy after he showed up to his grandma's house looking like this? Or was he being held up on that compound or some other facility as the parents tried to wait for him to heal so that they wouldn't catch any charges? You see what I'm saying? Very odd, very strange, and a very frustrating case, right? But now we got some new updates. And I am very, very excited to share this with you guys. First off, Bryson Muir found safe and well. First off, I just want to say, man, I woke up with tears in my eyes today. A kid saved, y'all. Hell yeah. A kid saved today, guys. Okay, I woke up and I heard about this and I had tears in my eyes. And I was like, okay, I got to share this right now. We're going to start off the day with some good doggone news. This young man has been found. He's alive and well. And guess the other part that makes me really happy. Parents are now in custody. Yeah. Oh, here's the other part too, which is great, which is also fantastic news, in my personal opinion. Police are now searching the compound. All right, then. So I'm very excited about this. So let's get into this, okay? Because obviously there's been a lot of questions on what the hell happened here, what actually is going on here, and why did it happen in this way? I don't know if we're going to actually get the why, but we at least are now finding out that it sounds like Bryson was indeed on that compound. I guess he was just being hidden, okay? And now parents are in custody. So let's get into this article really, really quick, okay? So a 14-year-old son of a former Indianapolis Colts player has been found more than 2 weeks after his reported disappearance. His parents are now in custody, and several other people are detained today in Cass County as Indiana State Police served arrest and search warrants. The teen appeared, quote unquote, safe and well, according to ISP. He was released into the custody of the Cass County Department of Child Services. The father, which we already know about, Daniel Muir, boo, right, faces preliminary charges of DB, okay, domestic battery, Class A misdemeanor, and obstruction of justice, level 6 felony, while his mother, Kristin Muir, boo, faces preliminary charge of obstruction of justice, level 6 felony, ISP said. Arrest warrants have been issued for both parents, and police took them to the Cass County Jail. This happened as ISP descended on a compound in Logansport, okay? the 3 SWAT teams, detectives, K9 units, and a boom boom squad. Can't even say that word either, guys. Wild, right? Were prepared to search multiple buildings at the property owned by the Servant Leaders Foundation, a nonprofit organization, religious group. The operation began around 6 a.m. So really early this morning, guys. Like I said, I woke up with this information. I woke up, opened up my phone, and boom, there it is. That's why I'm hopping on here, giving you guys this breaking news, okay? Which is, again, I am extremely, extremely happy about this. So please, guys, do me a favor. Again, if you guys are here and you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. Let's get the word out. You know, this is the thing also. You bad individuals that are putting your hands on your children, okay? We gonna get you. Period. Keep your hands to yourself. We don't play, all right? We don't play. And shout out to that grandma for speaking up and calling 911 as soon as she saw that. Took a photo of it to show proof of what this young boy endured. I appreciate that. Shout out to that grandma. I just have to say that really quick. All right? So hit that like button down below. Send some positivity. Okay, I know some of you guys are still getting your coffee. I haven't even eaten. I haven't even drank my coffee yet. About to, though. Okay, so hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're watching anywhere else. Okay, and share this news. Let's get into this again. Let's see. The video showed multiple police cars at the location, along with an armed vehicle from IMPD. Okay, so they are now due in court on Tuesday. The parents are now due in court on Tuesday. Or they were due in court Tuesday, I'm sorry, but they didn't show up, leading ISP to prepare for today's operation. So they were supposed to show up in court. They did not show up in court yesterday. So police were like, oh, if you're not even willing to show up to court, I mean, shoot, we will bring the law to you. If you ain't willing to show up to the law, we will bring the law to you. Say less, bro. Sit down. It's all good. We got you. All right. So now we already know about all this stuff. Okay. The background, the information on that. But there are some videos that I want to share with you guys. These are all breaking news videos. Let's take a look at some of these. All right. And be sure to hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this. Let's rock and freaking roll.
Breaking news right now as state police raid the Logansport compound where the parents of Bryson Muir live, and that includes Daniel Muir, a former Indianapolis Colts player.
Of course, we've been following this story for some time after police say Bryson went missing back on June 16th. Fox 59's Eric Graves has been part of this coverage since the early onset, and Eric, it does sound like there is some good news here.
Zach and Angela, we have been told that Bryson Muir has been found. That's 14-year-old boy missing since June 16th when his grandmother first called police in the Cleveland area. We are here in Cass County, just outside Logansport. I want to give you a closer look at the investigation going on right now. We're on Sadler Hill Drive. This is just on the other side of US 24 west out of Logansport where the Muir property is. We believe this to be a very large property. As you can see, this is 3 state police cars, 3 state police officers with large weapons. There's another state police officer off to my right over here that appears to be operating a drone, taking a look out over this property. We believe it to be a couple dozen acres back here from what we have been able to tell. We brought you here for the first time last Wednesday, a week ago, and gave you a view from the US 24. A gate there, a locked gate, big lock on it, several no trespassing signs, along with several homes on the property. This was when we had just been told of Bryson Muir's disappearance. 14-year-old here in Logansport, son of Daniel Muir, former Colts player, Kristin Muir, his mom. He was last seen by his grandma on June 16th. He was beaten and battered at the time, a black eye, a split lip, a swollen face. I talked to his grandma a few days ago. She told me he doesn't know how many times that boy had to have been hit for his face to look like that. And Bryson admitted that it was his father, Daniel Muir, who had hit him. And that has been the subject of this ISP work for the past week now, as they have tried to get a hold of these parents. It's been an unusual case. When you
Now, I do want to say, now I do think that it is for sure 110% a very, very odd case here, because let's be real. He was living with his parents on a compound, which we already talked about, right? The Straightway Truth Ministry, all right, which is a huge organization. Okay, they have chapters. It's not only just in Indiana, there's other chapters elsewhere, okay, in other states. And so it's very interesting to me that they were able to hide this young boy out on the compound without police actually being able to walk onto the compound, onto the property, knock on the door and just go, "Is he here? Okay, he's right there. Hi, Bryson. We just wanted to make sure he's here, make sure he's not missing, because the news, media, the public, everybody is very concerned about his well-being. He's right there, and he still has the bruises on his face. Sir, we're going to have to bring you in." They didn't even do that, right? It was so odd, right? Because of a compound, which is, like I said, it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, regardless of your religious background, your beliefs, if you live on a compound, if you are part of some sort of cult or anything like that, I still don't understand why they weren't able to just pull up to the front door, knock on that door, and just see proof of life that he's there. And then, of course, see how he looks like this, arrest them, and call it a day. That's one thing I find to be a bit odd. Okay. Very, very odd to me, but we're going to keep on talking. Just saying that piece. I am still, of course, we already talked about and looked into this cult, or into this religious organization, this religious group. Okay. We already talked about Straightway. We already heard from the pastor, the lead pastor, Pastor Dowell. Okay. Which, by the way, doesn't matter. He's sitting there going, "Oh yeah, y'all going to feel like a fool when you find out the truth. They got it all twisted." No, they ain't got nothing twisted. So there ain't going to be no public apologies from media or any other content creator that has made any video bringing awareness about this case, because this is very odd. No person should be able to hide out their child for 2 some odd weeks so that the kid's bruises can heal, so that when you do show up and show the kid, the bruises are gone. Oh, it didn't happen. No, that's all AI. This photo's AI. It's all fake news. You realize that if this was regular world, regular situation, Sans compound, right? Sans living on a compound, this father would have been arrested toot sweet with the quickness long time ago. But they used their organization, they used their compound to hide this child out so that they could possibly save this alleged pastor's ass. Yes. That's how I feel. That's how I think about it. Because there's no way in any other situation, if you did not have the compound, grandmama sees this on a son's face, takes a photo, calls 911, there would have been a much more aggressive action than them going, "Well, we can't get on the compound, so we're just going to stand around by the fence and just kind of look around for a minute and just wait for a moment so we can kind of get these mother lovers." I don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't. But let me continue, guys. I got to hop in and out of these videos because of fair use and crap. So, but still, I just don't get how all of this even happened and why it took 2 weeks. And I will say this too, really quick. This is not a knock at law enforcement. This is a knock at the law. If this is all because of law and because of religion, faith and state, or the church and state and all that stuff. I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to me why there was a slow pickup to bring justice for this young boy and to find him safe and well. But still, shout out to 5-0 for doing what they did. They stayed on it and they got him.
Usually having missing child, the parents are the biggest advocate trying to find their child. This time, the parents not helping. They had believed they had a meetup planned for Friday, as we do see ISP begin to get in their cars out here. Now, I was able to take a look around the bend as they have us back here at a safe distance. There was an armored SWAT vehicle inside, and we believe there to be dozens of officers combing this property right now as they have got into custody the Muir parents, Daniel and Kristin, and they do have 14-year-old Bryson in custody. As we're told, I'm going to move out of the road here as we've got a state police vehicle coming past us. That's a Logansport police vehicle, actually. Angela and Zach, I'm going to throw it back to you. We're going to try and get more information. We're going to try and talk to state police on camera today to talk about this very large investigation going on behind us right now here in Cass County, just outside Logansport.
Okay. And yes, okay. We're going to watch a little bit more of this video for sure. We're not done yet. But still, yes, I'm here for it. Law enforcement doing their law enforcing. Okay. This is the moment when I'm like, yes. Now, once somebody else asked this, Penny, and I'm kind of curious about this too. That's the reason why I'm like, what's up with the slow up and up? What's up with the slow? Like, what's up with the giddy up? You know what I'm saying? Usually the giddy up is a lot faster than this for the most part. So that's one question I still have and that I would love to get answered as well. Do religious compounds get protected by law? And are there different protocols when, when entering a specific compound? Are they protected under different laws that are different than living on, living in a home on a private, like a regular, in a regular house of some sort? I am still very, very curious about that, because that's one piece that still hasn't been answered. Because, like I said, the up and up to this has been very slow in comparison to any other story, or if Bryson lived in a home, in a regular house, not on a compound. So I keep wondering, are there different protocols when it comes to entering a compound? Different laws or different procedures? I'm still wondering about that as well. Maybe somebody knows that. I'm going to ask some friends here in a little bit. Okay. And yes, I know it's early, guys. I know. All right. You waking up looking normal. I'm looking like a gremlin, but that notification saved me from hitting snooze. Thank you. Hopefully you get in whatever you're getting, whatever you're needing to get done this morning. I'm just hopefully giving you an instant shot of espresso of good news, of positive news, right? Today, right? But so glad Bryson has found a well. Compounds are not safe, y'all. Yeah, I mean, they have a different a way of doing things on those compounds, right? And whatever was protecting the Muirs, I'm talking about Daniel and Kristin, stopped police. I mean, that protected them for a while and made things worse, I think, for Bryson. And you got to remember, he said to his grandmother, "Oh, I deserved it." No, that's not good. And in my personal opinion, it sounds like it's a situation of they needed or were trying to basically buck break their son. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. Oh, you're not willing to adhere to our way of life, to our religious beliefs, to how we conduct things on this compound? All right. We're going to put our hands on you until you actually fold, until you comply. That's basically what it sounds like to me, right? It's very crazy, but let's continue on. We got more. We got more.
Yeah, Eric, I want to talk to you a little
Guys.
bit too, because we've been getting so many, first of all, people that live in Logansport. We started getting tips early this morning saying, hey, we're seeing like a caravan. What is happening? Different neighbors saying, hey, I live where you are, really close. Have you actually, I know you just got there, I'm guessing you haven't gotten to see anyone yet. Has anybody come out even just asking you what's happening?
I've made a few calls this morning as we've gotten some of those reports from neighbors saying, hey, we're seeing, some people reported seeing as many 60 police cars gathering just a mile from this, prepared to do this. I can tell you that the other entrance to this compound off US 24, they have it blocked just off the highway that's probably just a few hundred yards behind us. So we came around here to the back entrance to give it a little bit better of a picture of what they're doing. I know this isn't...
Did you hear that? Like they were suited and booted and ready like a mile down the road. So they were planning on, most likely the police were ready to raid this compound for a while, but somebody just said this. Where did it go? I don't see it anymore, but somebody said something along the lines of Waco. Like, do you remember what happened with Waco? We never forget that, right? They went in, and I mean, that was just a crazy situation, right? Police were ambushed, right? Okay. And so, yeah, a lot of you guys are saying one word, why Waco? Some of you guys are just saying Waco, and now you just don't know what you're walking into. So a lot of these guys, a lot of these compounds, from what we understand, they're suited and booted, right? They're strapped and ready, right? And so they didn't want to walk in there and see World War 17, right? So it's crazy. You don't want to lose lives. You just want to get the kid, right? So let's continue.
Much, but we're going to try and get you some more visuals. And there are houses around this. This is a more rural part of Logansport, but there certainly are some homes here. So we're going to try and talk to as many neighbors as we can. What we do know is the folks who live here, the Muirs, and we believe more people are well known in this community.
And Eric, just from what you can see from your vantage point, we can see the cars behind you. Have you seen anyone yet leaving the property, or anyone being taken out yet, or so far has it all been contained back behind those trees?
It appears to have been contained. We got here just about 7 o'clock this morning, so just a few minutes. We've been on scene. I've talked to the state police officers behind me. I asked them and I said, hey, is everything going well so far? And they said yes. Obviously, they're not going to tell me much at this point as they wait for public information officers to do that sort of thing. So we are hoping to hear from one of them soon, but that is certainly a good sign. We have not seen anyone leave to this point, though, Zach.
Yeah, and that other question too is, as you were getting, I know, Eric, and so were we, why can't police go in there and raid it? People think that you can just get a search warrant super easy. They think, well, if you think there's something going on, you should be able to raid it. And then finally, we know, obviously, that at some point here within the last couple of days, they've been able to obtain a search warrant. I don't think that you might not have any insight on that, Eric, but maybe that, I mean, I know you've talked to people that are asking you, why hasn't more been done since the silver alert was issued?
Well, and that's a question we've been asking police since this kind of started, is there going to be a plan to eventually go into this property, because you have these two parents that have not been cooperating with their missing son, who the last time he was seen had severe injuries. And there was a fear, of course, that he could have even worse injuries, or even worse could have happened to 14-year-old Bryson Muir. So that has been a question we've been asking, and that's something that state police told me as late as Monday that they have been exploring. So this is something that's been on the horizon. It appears something that has happened today, obviously. Those processes, like you said, Angela, are complicated. And hopefully we're going to find out more as to what has happened to lead up to this search warrant, to what had to have happened for state police to get that piece of paper from a judge to be able to go onto this property this morning.
Yes. Let me repeat that last part one more again.
That has happened today, obviously. Those processes, like you said, Angela, are complicated. And hopefully we're going to find out more as to what has happened to lead up to this search warrant, to what what had to have happened for state police to get that piece of paper from a judge to be able to go onto this property this morning.
Now, that's the one thing I'd like to know, too. Aside from them not showing up to court on Tuesday, which is just the most ridiculous and most careless thing you can do. You have a court date and you don't even show up to your court date. It's very careless. Okay. It's very dumb. All right. But aside from them not showing up to their court date, what other paperwork, what other things had to be implemented for them to be able to go and raid the compound or go in there and at least get to Bryson, most importantly, and then arrest the parents? That's the one thing I'm kind of curious about as well. Now, really quick, I want to say this too. Rianne, thank you so much for being a member for over a year. Thank you so much. Let me shout a hallelujah. Let justice be served. Hey, y'all. Hello. Good morning. This is a great morning in my personal opinion, at least for this particular case. Yes, we got so many other cases that we're talking about. But yes, this one nonetheless is wrapping up in a positive way. Sapira, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Rianne, thank you so much for gifting one person a membership. I appreciate that. And all I ask is that person who became a member recently, okay, because I'm a few minutes behind on that. If you can just go buy somebody a cup of coffee, open the door for somebody, say something nice to somebody, make somebody smile for whatever reason, just spread positivity. Just pay it forward. Okay. If you can do that simple thing today, that will be amazing. Okay. We try to spread positivity here. Also, if you feel like if you want to do this and you want to re-gift somebody else a membership, and that's your way of spreading some positivity, hey, that would be greatly appreciated as well. But all I ask is for you to open the door for somebody. Call your mama. Call your daddy. Call your gam. Okay? Call somebody you haven't talked to in a while and just say, sup. Sup, love you. Just thinking about you. Okay? Simple asks, guys. Simple asks. All right? We got another video, though. All right. I'm still searching to see, because this is all still brand new. It's been breaking over this throughout this morning. So I am still getting information as we go here. So just ride with me if you can. Ride with me if you can. All right. That'd be greatly appreciated. Of course, do not forget, again, hit that like button down below. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Please hit that follow if you're watching on other platforms. Okay. And of course, spread the great news. This young man, Bryson Muir, has been found alive, and they say he is safe and well, and the parents have been arrested. Now they are searching the compound, because you got to remember, here's the thing I want to point out, as in this report, and I don't want to forget to mention this, because I think this is a very, very, very important. Okay, they are searching the compound right now, which is fantastic news, because I think that there's other kids that are getting hurt, if you get what I'm saying. There's other littles out there, I'm sure, that are getting the same type of treatment on that compound. And God knows what else they're doing on the compound, but I'm just saying, there are, I'm sure, other kids that are going through the same pain right now, if not worse than what Bryson endured. Think about that for a second. So yes, damn right, you better go and check out that compound, because you're telling me the leader, one of their main pillar leaders, one of the main pastors of this religious group, is the only one raising his fist to his child? I'm telling you, this is probably a way of life. This is probably how they raise their children and how they discipline their children in that compound. I guarantee you he is not the only one. If he leads by this example, imagine what else all these other kids are going through too. These innocent children that are probably thinking for themselves, don't believe or agree with this way of life. At some point, listen, this kid is 14 years old. I remember when I was 14. I was an inquisitive mother. I'm still an inquisitive mother lover, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But still, I was an inquisitive mother lover. I had questions about my faith. I had questions about religion. I had questions about way of life. I wouldn't say I was a super rebel. It's not like I was sitting here, James Dean, just riding motorcycles or whatever, but I still had teenage angst, just like every other teenager. It's just varying degrees of teenage angst. It could be at a 2, or it could be all the way up to a 15. Like that teenage angst knob just gets turned all the way up to 15, and then they rip the knob off. Some kids run that way. It's called teenage angst for a reason, okay? But nonetheless, there's still going to be pushback. There's still going to be questions. There's still going to be people questioning about their faith, about their relationship with God at some point in your life. Doesn't matter how faithful, how devout, how pious you may be, you're going to ask questions. That's what you do. We're human. You think for yourself. So imagine these kids growing up in this world, or getting pulled out of their own reality, right? Like the real world, and get plopped in the middle of this compound. And then they got to listen to this. They got to worship, and they got to do all the things that everybody else does. And it's like, wait a second, this is completely different from what life was like before we walked on this compound. Wait a second. You're taking my PS5. You're taking my PS5. You're taking my PS5. Come on, guys. You tell me the shoes on my feet, if I want to get new ones, I got to ask and get permission to get new shoes? If I want to get a haircut, I got to go get the haircut from this dude, and he don't even know how to line my head right. What's up with that? And then let's not forget about the religion part. Like I said, your kids who are sitting there, your seeds that are in that compound, and they may not agree with what you are worshiping, are asking questions, and how you discipline them or how you write them on the course towards your faith to God is a fist to the face. Oh, no. That's not a way to do it, y'all. Okay? That's not the way to do it. Clearly, that's wrong. Don't do that. Okay? Keep your doggone hands to your doggone self. Period, point blank. But that's not how you're going to get kids or children or people to get onto whatever train you are on towards that faith, towards this particular religion or these ideologies and these beliefs. He's 14 years old. He's 14 years old. How many other kids are doing the same doggone thing, thinking the same thing, asking the same things? Kids act up. Kids will get ornery. Kids will get stubborn. It is what it is. And then these fathers and parents are looking to their pastor, to their leader, and they're going, oh, he raises his hand to the kid, so we can do as such as well. He's leading by example. I guarantee you. And that's the reason why they're going through that compound. Not only to just see like what kind of arsenal, making sure everything is legit, so on and so forth. I'm sure they're like, you got paperwork for all these guns, you got paperwork for all these rifles, so on and so forth. But I'm sure they're also trying to figure out what's going on with the kids too. Because I'm sure, like I said, this kid is not the only one. He's not the only one. He's not. And the fact that these people were willing, this whole compound was willing to hide Bryson. See, that's the other thing. Can we talk about that for a second? Why were you hiding him? Why? Just because you wait 2 weeks to let him emerge without the bruises and cuts on his face? Let's just say you did that for that reason. You realize the damage was done because the photo was already taken and there was already an eyewitness. Grandma already been seeing that stuff. The photo exists. We all seen it. So why? It's not very smart. Let's just hide him out here. What? Why? Like I said, put those things in your head and think about it for a second. Please tell me, why would one do that? Why? Real quick, Nurse Janice, we got another some more news here, so I'm going to be sharing with you guys here in just a second. But I'm just asking. The whole purpose, it sounds like, is that they were hiding him out so his bruises could heal, so that when he does show up to the police, they could brainwash him into saying like, "Hey, nothing happened. What happened? You make up some excuse and say, see, his face is fine. He's totally fine. No one touched him. That photo's fake or whatever." Is that what they were planning on doing? Trying to cover this up? Trying to cover this child A situation up? Because it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, let's just take him back to the compound. In fact, let's exchange cars, or let's switch him in cars, right? Let's put him in another car. You guys, hightail it down the road, because we already know police are coming for us, coming for this car. So take him to the compound as quickly as possible. And then they hide him out in that compound for weeks. It's the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Okay? And like I said, you got people out here going, "Oh no, y'all gonna feel real stupid when the truth comes out." Nah, bruh. Nah. Okay? Nurse Janice, thank you so much for being a member for a whole year, over a year, I'm sorry. Thank the Lord. Thank you, Pascal, for all that you do. Keep being you, spreading that positivity. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, indeed. And I shall. Okay. Please, guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button as well. Please and thank you. All right. Hit that follow button. I see a bunch of y'all in here, and I appreciate you guys being here for the positive and good news. Okay. Tired as a mother. Thank you so much for the love. Followers believe they protect their leader for God. Raising your hands to a child is not from God. That is from Diablo. Yes, I agree. I agree to that 110%. Thank you so much for the support. Yes, I agree. 110%. They're like, no, we don't fear. We fear our God, but we also fear our leader, and we must take care of our leader, right? And that's exactly what it seems like. That's what's going on here. Okay. It's crazy. Okay. Wow. Carbonized just said this. This is interesting. Okay. I don't know. The Sebastian stuff, I don't know anymore. I don't know. Okay. Sylvia said as well, watching from Australia. Good day. Good day, mate. So happy to they have got Bryce. Wish it could have worked out that way for Sebastian Rogers. I wish it was too, because obviously, everyone is still. There's a lot of people still. There's nothing to cover, but people are still covering it. If that makes any sense, as far as facts and stuff, there's nothing new coming out. So yes, it is kind of. It's very frustrating because there's nothing. There's nothing. No new developments, no nothing revolving around that. And I wish the situation was different with Sebastian. I really do. I really, really do. But only time will tell, I hope. Okay. I mean, let's not forget Summer Wells. Okay. It's been a long while since Summer Wells went up and missing, and she's still not found. Okay. And we still, of course, all feel some type of way about that case as well. I hope we get some truths here soon, okay? But moving on, back to the case and the topic that we're here to talk about, okay? But I did want to bring that up. I mean, it's been a long time with Sebastian, but it's been a lot longer time with Summer Wells, and there's still nothing with Summer Wells. Nothing. It's frustrating. And I don't want it to be like that for any case That's why I'm so happy. Like I said, I woke up with tears in my eyes this morning when I found out that he was alive and well, when Bryson was found alive and well. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you. We got one, at least one for right now. Now we just keep talking about these other cases, and hopefully we bring justice and we bring those kids and those individuals home safely alive, right? The sooner we start talking about them, right? The sooner they get home, hopefully safe and sound. We got another video. I want to share this with you guys. Let's take a look at this.
This is breaking news from the Fox 59 newsroom.
Let's get back to our breaking news right now. So many of you have so many questions. Logansport Police and State Police raid the Logansport compound where the parents of Bryson Mure live. We're told both former Colts player Daniel Muir and the mother of Bryson were in custody and arrested.
Yeah, now facing preliminary charges. We're also told that Bryson has been found and he is okay. We've been following this story for some time now, a couple weeks after police say Bryson went missing on June 16th.
Let's get right out to Eric Graves now on the scene early this morning with all of the details he's been able to gather so far. Eric, where do you want to start?
Angela and Zach, we do have some brand new information from Indiana State Police. We have charges for Daniel Muir and Kristin Muir. As I read these, I'm going to give you a closer look inside this compound. As we've been calling it this morning, we are off Sadler Hill Road here in Logansport. This is what we believe to be the back entrance to this property. Police have been working over on U.S. Highway 24, which is just on the other side of this tree line we're seeing. Back to these charges. We have been told that Daniel Muir has been arrested. 1 count of obstruction of justice, 1 count of domestic battery. I had told you earlier this week when I talked to the grandmother of Bryson Muir that Bryson admitted it was his dad who had hit him in that picture we have been showing you since last week of Bryson with a black eye, split lip, and swollen face. Kristin Muir, Bryson's mother, is charged with 1 count of obstruction of justice. This is a look inside of the property we believe them to have lived on. Earlier when we got here this morning at 7 o'clock, there were multiple state police cars out here, multiple SWAT vehicles. They have since left. We believe there's still 1 vehicle in there. And we're monitoring right now to see if there is any other activity happening inside. The most important update of the day, of course, Bryson Muir, the 14-year-old who has been missing for 17 days since June 16th, has been found and appears to be safe and well. He is now in the custody of the Cass County Department of Child Services. We are hoping to hear more from state police. We believe we'll be able to talk to them later on this morning as this saga, this unusual saga that state police has been dealing with the Muir family now appears to be over here in Logansport at this large property.
Now, real quick, Sasha just said this. I don't know if it's entirely true. Maybe I'm going to try to look it up here in just a second. But they say obstruction carries 20 years more than battery. That's insane if that's the truth. Okay. I mean, obstruction's still bad, obviously, but still, wow. Okay. Which is also wild too. The mom may do more time than the monster who actually put his hands on Bryson, which is interesting. But I do want to remind you, he's looking at the same charge too. Not only is he getting child B, okay? Not only is he getting charged for being a monster for putting his hands on Bryson, but he is also getting obstruction as well. So he's looking at more time than mama, okay? And we don't even know if she's really... We don't know if she really, if he is the only one who's put his hands on Bryson. And I'm sure within this investigation, we're going to be finding out that more here in a second. Nikisha, thank you so much. Thank God he's alive and well. However, we can't even imagine how he is mentally and emotionally. You're absolutely right. Lord knows what all he's had to endure. Absolutely. You know what? Let's take a moment on that, because you got to remember, Grandma was even saying, Gam was even saying that he was brainwashed. That whatever was going on in this compound, which we're looking at here right now, right, on this screen right here, he went through some serious things. And I also say that there's other kids that went through the same thing, if not worse. Something to think about, guys. Okay. Nikisha, thank you so much for that. And yes, we need to be aware of that. Not only is he safe, yes, he's safe. We're happy about that, but he still has a long way to go because of what he has gone through. And I hope that they get as many kids as they can off that compound. I'm hoping that they're doing exactly that. Okay. Not only are they just going in there to just to see if they broke the laws on other things and if they have, unregistered, pews and whatnot, you know what I mean? My main concern is about the kids and the people, maybe other women, maybe even men that are in there that are being held there against their will in a way because of their families. Right. So I'm hoping that we get that. I'm hoping that they look into that and they're doing their due diligence, right? But let's continue on, guys. Fantastic news this morning, guys. Fantastic news, but still sad, right?
Yeah, Eric.
Angela and Zach, I want to send it back to you.
Yeah.
Anything?
We have so many questions, and I know you've been looking in there and zooming in now, and if we can go back to that picture, because a lot of people have been asking. We got to talk a little bit about this earlier, about what life was like in that residence. People are saying, why are you calling it a compound? Why are you doing this? Well, if you can see, as we zoom in, we know that there were multiple men and women that lived here, and we know that they lived on the land. You can see that they garden, and I understand from just the people I've talked to and what we've been able to see on social media that they build those own places. I mean, they even talk about how they live.
Yeah, it's in, from what we've been able to garner, because there are YouTube videos on the page Straightway Truth Ministry. If you see the sign in there, it says Straightway Indiana Goshen. There is another one of those similar signs on the 1700 U.S. Highway 24 sign, where police say is the Muir's technical address. That is connected to a religious group out of Tennessee that appears to have some different chapters or groups across the country. This is the one in Indiana. Of course, it appears to be led by Daniel Muir, former Colts defensive lineman, and the person at the center of this investigation.
Yeah, call me Kitty. Yeah, Grandma may have saved more than just Bryson. That's hard truths right there. I agree 110% on that. This could be, this, like I said, you never know, right? You never know. And this is why I say, and I feel like we hear it a lot, right? But we actually saw somebody go into action with this. If you see something, say something. If a kid or a family friend, a sibling, extended relative, whatever, you see something, you damn sure better be saying something, okay? Because it could be the domino, all right? That the first domino that knocks over all the other ones that could start saving a bunch of other people as well. So this is, like I said, fantastic news.
Angela?
Yeah.
And Eric, on the left side of the entrance, we can see the gate sort of swinging freely. The police have offered to reimburse the people there, so presumably that gate was not opened willingly. That presumably police may have broken through that. The car that's on the path there, can you even tell, does that seem to be a civilian vehicle or is that another police vehicle?
Zach, let me tell you about the gate first. I'm trying to get a better angle of it, and you are correct. We did hear, it was an IMPD SWAT vehicle was leaving. They came over the loudspeaker. We believe they thanked the people inside for their cooperation, said something about the gate, and said you can contact Indiana State Police for reimbursement. As I'm looking at it right now, it appears to be a piece hanging off of it. There could be a few of the rails in the middle that are missing. It would appear that the SWAT officers came in pretty hot this morning. When we were here a week ago, the first time at this property, we saw no open gates. And from our talking with neighbors, that is how those gates stay unless people are coming in and out of the property for services at this property. Religious services, we've been told, are held on the weekends. As far as that car, Zach, we're not quite sure. From my experience, I would say that it is probably a police vehicle, but there's no markings on it that I can tell that would suggest that it is a police vehicle, but it
It looks like a civilian vehicle to me.
does kind of have that look to it.
Yeah, it looks like possibly a Toyota
Maybe
there.
a Toyota.
Yeah.
And the camera can zoom in quite a ways too.
Yeah, and Eric, you were mentioning that police came in kind of hot this morning. Again, part of this is not confirmed, so I'm not going to give the person's name, but we were also told that somebody perhaps on the property, when you come in hot at 6 a.m., there may have been somebody on the property that also got awakened pretty early and may have also talked to police this morning. Have you been able to confirm anything in regards to what I'm talking about?
And we're working on that right now. We haven't been able to confirm it quite yet. We're hoping to talk to state police about that later on. But as you can imagine, the picture we've painted this morning, what we've been able to show you, this was a large operation involving a lot of state police, Logansport, IMPD, a lot of officers from a lot of different agencies that were armed heavily and were prepared for the idea that there could be some sort of altercation, whether that be with guns or not when they came in. From what we've been able to tell so far, everyone appears to have made it out of here safely this morning.
Okay. So you heard that, right? They had concerns over this not being something easy, that this raid could have turned into Waco. They're concerned of it turning into something worse than them just going in there and just seeing if Bryson was even there. And of course, arresting one of their leaders, right? One of their pastors. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. So that's the reason why there was a little bit of a slow, or at least one of the reasons why there was a slow up and up with this whole situation. Fascinating, guys. We got more. Okay, I got more videos. There's been an interview that from Indiana State Police, okay, where they discussed the raid. So we're going to talk about that here in a second. What's up, Cornbread? How you doing? So happy to hear Bryson's alive. This church also got in trouble a few years back. See, 2-part Sports Illustrated story from April 2020. If anybody has that, please send that to me. I'd love to take a look at that. I'd love to take a look at that for sure. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll try to keep an eye on that. But if anybody has it, please email it to me. I'd love to see that. But yeah, like I said, pretty wild stuff. Okay. Emil, real quick, Emmy, sorry. Emmy, yes, I was covering the Caleb Harris case, but I am still waiting to hear if the remains that were found in that water tank are actually Caleb Harris. I haven't heard anything as of yet. But yes, we covered it. I interviewed the dad a while back. Still waiting to hear some news, right? News, facts. And we haven't heard anything. In fact, the family hasn't really spoken out in a while. You know what I mean? So I am still waiting to hear about that as well. Okay, just so you guys know. Savannah May, don't worry, guys. Stick around. We still have the ISP interview talking about the raid and all that. So we're going to be talking about that here in a second. Savannah May, thank you so much for being a member for the past year. Thank you. Okay, I'm just happy they're able to rescue the child from the wolves and sheep's clothing. Prayers go out to him and his grandmother. Yes, and his auntie and his aunt. Shout out to the auntie, because the auntie was also out here speaking out as well. But of course, the one that was mainly spearheading this whole thing and bringing awareness about Bryson was the grandmother. So, I give a lot of shout out to both of them, because it does take a village to raise these children. It takes a village to find them. And most importantly, it takes a village to protect them as well. Okay. Like I said, this is a beautiful example of, if you see something, you say something. Don't care if it causes a rift between you and your kin. I don't care. That's a little. Y'all know better. You know what I'm saying? You better call them that 911. Just saying. But let me play this for you guys. We got a couple videos here. There's some new updates or some things. And this one is from ISP. I think you guys will want to hear this. This is my first time hearing it too. So let's take a look and take a listen to this too.
We do have reports that Bryson is safe and well, and Daniel and Kristin Muir have been incarcerated at the Cass County Jail.
As far as charges for the parents, what can you tell us about that?
Daniel Muir is facing charges of a level 6 felony of obstruction of justice, as well as a Class A misdemeanor for domestic battery. The mother, Kristin Muir, is facing just one count of level 6 felony, obstruction of justice.
You said 6 a.m. How large of an operation was this morning? And what we believe, it would, at least on our side, believe to be a very large property there in Logansport.
Yeah, so with anything of this nature, we have to be well prepared going into the unknown. But ultimately, everything went well and everybody's safe, including Bryson.
I know this has been a long investigation for you guys, stretching almost 2 weeks now, with a lot of uncertainty in terms of a failed meeting last Friday the parents backed out of. What's it like for you all personally when you can get to the end of this and find a child who there have been so many questions about safe?
Yeah, so this is obviously was our primary goal, to find Bryson and to find him safe and well. Just screams volumes. We're really excited to find him and make sure that he's okay. He was released to the Department of Child Services in Cass County. Yeah.
I know you said you were prepared for whatever, but overall a peaceful operation this morning?
Yes. Just shortly after 6 o'clock, once the execution of that search warrant took place, we immediately came into contact with the parents and Bryson.
I mean, one thing, I think that's really fantastic, right? They were able to get immediate contact with them. They got straight to the BS. There was no real altercation of any sort. They were able to just get this young kid and get those two, detained. And that's all that matters, right? But now that they got who they got, now they're going, okay, we definitely need to check in on this compound and just make sure that everything that's going on with this in this compound is Gucci. And I'm happy for that. Now, shout out to, where did that name go? I think it was Jay. I could have sworn I saw somebody, Jay. I think it was Jay. Sorry if because your name was there and it just flew up. Apparently, remember we talked about Pastor Dowell. Pastor Dowell had some things to say, which we're going to be seeing here right now, because apparently he talked about the raid itself as well, and he said the title of it was "They Came to Straightway Goshen During Morning Prayer." We got to take a look at this video. Okay, we got to take a look at this video. And I still got another news video, but I want, because you got to remember, we talked about Pastor Dowell. Pastor Dowell is one of the main leaders of the Straightway Truth Ministries. He is the face of this whole religious group. Okay, we watched the video of him reacting to the allegations at that time of Bryson being either in dire straits, being missing, and all that. And he was the one saying, "Y'all gonna feel like a fool when you find out the truth on what actually happened here." Media likes to spin it and chop it up and screw it and make it sound like it's something that it's not, right? But what actually happened in actuality is they were holding him, they were hiding him. They were keeping him away from law enforcement. The other part is, let's not forget this other part. First, we already talked about this. They could have remedied this issue just by showing up to when they agreed on June 27th to show up and show their son. All they had to do was show up and show their son. And they reneged on that. They said, second thought, we ain't going to do that. Then on top of that, there was a court-ordered appearance that they were supposed to have yesterday. Both parents. And guess what? Both parents didn't show up. Y'all, both parents didn't show up. So you got Pastor Dowell and, whoever else that may be on the side of like, they innocents, right? Going on his own YouTube channel saying like they innocent. Okay, they don't even show up to their own court-appointed hearing or showing. I forgot the word right now. It's too early in the morning. You know what I'm saying. They don't even show up to their court appearance. There it is. That doesn't make any sense. So for him to sit there and go, y'all gonna be, you feel like boo-boo the fool. They're not even showing up to their own court appearances. Come on. Like I say, you can't sit there and go, oh, it's red, and go, no. As you can see, if you avert your eyes and squint and do this a little bit, lean your head to the right a little bit, it's purple. You can't do that. Ain't that funny? We see that a lot lately. Well, we've been seeing that for a while, Okay. No, he did that. No, he didn't. You got that all wrong, bro. Look at it again. You don't see that he didn't do that? Take a look at the video that they say he's allegedly doing it. But oh, no. He's not doing it. It's somebody else. See, there's a ghost hand in the video pulling the trigger. Whoa. Miss me with that nonsense. Okay? Miss me with that nonsense. Let's take a look at what Pastor Dole had to say. Now, by the way, I have not seen this. So this is live. So let's take a look at this. All right? Let's rock and roll.
Well, all right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. Pastor Dowell here. Well, I'm sure that probably some people may know it by now. So the government, or let's say Indiana, decided to actually raid straightway Goshen this morning. They came in with MRAPs, bear caps, battering rams, riot gear, SWAT teams, air support, the whole 9 yards. Wow, the Israelites were in prayer this morning.
First off, not about that part, okay? But yeah, he did steal my. No, I'm kidding. But one thing is, do you expect anything less for 5-0 to show up ready to go? Let's be real. You can't be mad at police showing up ready. Come on.
And you got all these people out here. See, I can only talk about the things that are taking place. Now, mind you, all this is over an allegation.
I have not seen this video. I swear to God. But what? An allegation? Come on, man. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. God. See? You didn't see. No, he ain't the one pulling the trigger. There's a ghost hand in the video pulling the trigger. You see that? It's that other dude that right next to him that actually pulled the trigger. It wasn't him. Yes. See, that's a ghost hand that did that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bruh. You got this all wrong, bruh. Nah.
About a department, somebody deport an allegation to the Department of Child Services. Nobody really truly knows everything that's going on.
Good Lord.
So kind of like the way that the
by the way, this is Jamie just said he made a video this morning. This is one of, if I'm understanding, like 3 videos he did in the last 2 hours. So this is the first one that I saw. Now, if I'm correct, this is the very first one that he's talking about. It's the shortest one, by the way. He did 2 other videos after this, okay, talking about this. All right? So, yeah, there's more than just one, okay? There's more than just one. Yeah.
The law enforcement and all of them say we're not at liberty to speak on certain things because we're just simply not there. You can only tell you what's going on. I'm only reporting because I know a lot of true Israelites are concerned what's going on. So apparently they got Pastor Muir and Sister Muir and Bryson. Everybody asking, where's Bryson? Jesus, I tell you, like people are really truly concerned. It just lets you know how far a false allegation can go. but the blowback from a false allegation probably ain't going to be too good, especially when you have the backing of the ministry behind you. Because see, right now, all this seems to be at the forefront, and everybody seems to be pointing fingers and laughing and jeering and all those stuff. But you better believe the straightway is not going to be taking any of this lying down.
Hold on. No one's laughing. No one's laughing. People are rejoicing for sure because, yeah, finally a story that ends with a kid being found alive. But you held, not you, not Pastor Dowell, but that family, those two parents held that child. You cannot tell me that this is all off of allegations. You got it all wrong. It's off of this is all off of allegations. What are you talking about? Hold up for a second. Let's be real. Is this an allegation? Let that sink in. Is this an allegation? That's proof. This kid didn't just walk into a basketball post, didn't walk into a mailbox. He didn't walk into his father's fist. Then on top of that, you got another thing. Cops pulled them over. He was gone. He was nowhere to be found. He disappeared, this young man. These are not allegations. These are facts. So what are you saying here? Respectfully, what exactly are you saying here? I'm sure you're doing everything you can to make sure that your organization looks as clean and as pristine as possible, trying to make sure that they look good and all that. I get it to a certain extent, but you are literally moving the goalpost for a situation that you should be erring on the side of, no, that should not have happened. We do not condone this type of stuff. Me and our committee within this organization, we will be having a conversation on what we're going to do as far as the future of Pastor Muir's relationship and his time spent on this compound and within straightway. That's what should be said. But he's sitting here saying, nah, all of these are allegations. This is some BS, so on and so forth. Come on, guys. Those are not allegations. Those are facts.
Coming. You better believe we coming. We coming, and we're going to see how funny everything is when the smoke all clears. And when you really truly find out that they made a mountain out of a molehill. Y'all see the reason why Pastor Dow teaches y'all the way that I teach y'all for protection of your own self? Because
he just referred to himself in the third person just now, just so you guys know.
When it's somebody else, it's all fine and good. But when someone makes a false allegation, then it comes to your house, it ain't funny no more, is it? It ain't funny anymore then. Then you want all the support of the general public and everybody else. But anyway, we're just going to wait and see how things play out. You know, people get excited and stuff, but still just wait and see how things going to play out. I can tell you one thing, personally, myself, I don't trust law enforcement. I've had many runs in with law enforcement. I definitely don't trust news media in any way, shape, fashion, or form, because I've had a lot of bad experiences with them over the years. And the one thing that I never, ever get from any of them is an apology. An open apology, just like they come out openly come out guns blazing with accusations and stuff. They never, ever apologize for all the pain and suffering, for all the false allegations, for the lying reports, for the twisting and warping and distorting of facts. They never do that.
Okay, let's talk about this. Now, I understand that Straightway Truth Ministries, even Pastor Dowell have had their fair share of media coverage, for lack of a better term, okay? And everything that Straightway stands for has been broken down and all that. I just got to kind of read through a little bit of this Sport Illustrated article that was written about members of the Straightway, about Straightway Truth Ministries in itself. Now, I get it. He might have a chip on his shoulder with media because they have covered some things, some very damning things, okay, about this organization and the people, some of the main pillars of this religious group, okay? So sure, he's got a chip on his shoulder for that, and he feels some type of way about media. Fine. But that still does not change the fact that police were asking for proof of life. That's all they were asking for. Show up with your son. June 27th. Show us that he is alive and well. That's all we ask from you. They did not do that. They hit on their compound. They said, yeah, we're going to help out. We're going to cooperate. We're going to talk with you guys. And then they wouldn't cooperate and work things out with law enforcement. They were working things out through a lawyer. And then, by the way, this is probably the worst lawyer in the history of lawyers. Okay? The worst Esquire in the history of Esquires. Because let's not forget, that Esquire, that lawyer, should have turned to the Muirs, the parents, and say, hey, this coming Tuesday, you better get your butts to that courthouse. You better show up to that court appearance. If you don't, there may be some problems. And guess what happened? They still didn't show up to the doggone court appearance. So you can miss me with the nonsense of, oh yeah, the media is doing this, and this, and it's unfair and blah, blah, blah. Sure, you got a chip on your shoulder. All right. You got a grudge against media and all that, but you cannot deter from the fact that this is law enforcement giving out facts. You see a young boy who has clearly been hurt badly. Grandmama took a photo. This was the photo before he disappeared. Media is not making things up. In fact, they're not even diving into this organization. Not yet, at least. But they're not diving into the organization. All they've been doing is saying, hey, where's this kid? All we want to know is, where is this kid? Where is Bryson? Just show us Bryson and we'll leave you guys alone. It's cool. You could do whatever. You could praise whatever. You could praise a jar of mayonnaise. We don't care. We just want to make sure that Bryson's still alive. And what has happened time and time again? They have not produced the young boy. So you can keep moving the goalpost all you want. Be upset about, oh, they're trying to attack our religion, our group, attacking our own personal integrity. Okay, fine. I get that. I get that's how you feel, but you cannot fake the funk when it comes to them just wanting to see proof of life. You can't fake the facts. And the facts are that young boy was hurt and then he disappeared. And that family was hiding him. That is wrong. Period. And yeah, I'm sure you're mad now because, let's be real, instead of them actually doing the responsible and right thing by showing Bryson alive and well, they hit him out. And guess what's happening now? That chapter up in Indiana, that compound right now is getting looked at. That shouldn't have happened. The one thing you want to do is go, hey, nope, hey, 5-0 wants to see the kid. Show him the kid. Show him the kid. Show him right now. We don't need cops on our compound, looking through things, going through things, asking questions, looking at in our general direction. You don't want that, right? But you didn't do that. And now you got news going, what is Straightway? What is Straightway Truth Ministries? And then there's going to be a whole deep dive into yo-ish. This all could have been solved, could have been remedied if they just showed proof of life when ISP asked them to show up on June 27th. That was the biggest mistake of all. So quit moving the goalpost, because this is not on media. It's not. It's on Pastor Muir's ass. That's it. My dog concurs. We got other things to get into, because I'm not going to watch 3 more videos of him just trying to move the goalpost and making things up. I'm sorry. And I'm sure there are people who are listening to him and are going, oh, yeah, I absolutely agree. This is wrong. You know, see how the one person says, see how the police and the law come in on accusation in this instance, and to the naysayers, how long before they do the same to you? Listen, if my kid is missing and I don't, and they believe that I have the kid, okay, and the last time that kid was seen was bruises on his face and a fat lip, and his face was swollen really, really badly, to the point where you don't even, let me just show you guys one more time. Look at this, okay? This is what his face usually looks like. And this is what his face looked like when he disappeared. One more time. Here's his face, regular. See, like, you know, there's more definition in his face, right? More curvature, if that makes any sense. You know, you can see cheekbone, eyeline, all that stuff, right? And then take a look at this photo right here. Rounder, more swollen. Then, of course, let's not forget the black eye, the fat lip. Completely different kid. Completely different kid. Okay? Okay? So that kid looked like this. Not this, but looked like this when he disappeared. You don't think police, media, and et cetera are going to sit there and go, what the hell happened here? What the hell happened here? What happened to this kid? Come on, guys. Come on. But see, this is what's so frustrating about the world that we live in. As soon as somebody has a decent platform, pillar, you know, like a soapbox that they can stand on, and they have enough following, they can sit there and say whatever they want. They can move the goalpost, and there's going to be at least a few or a good portion of their followers that are going to sit there and go, see, believe him. See what he said? Yeah, this is just the police trying to take our organization down, our group down. No, it's not. I swear to you on God, y'all, if they just showed up with Bryson, this would have been a different story. But Daniel did the wrong thing. You know what he did? He didn't keep his hands to himself. He didn't keep his doggone hands to himself. That's the common denominator right now, by the way. If he just kept his hands to himself, found a different way to discipline his child without this whole heavy hitting, without this in general, he wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. There would be no raiding of a compound and people wondering what's straight way. Think about all these things. Think about all these things before you start sitting there trying to move the doggone goalpost. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of it. And there's always going to be a group going, oh, yep, that's that part. Yes, that part. Please miss me with that nonsense. Please. We got more.
This is breaking news from the Fox 59 newsroom.
Let's get back to our breaking news right now. So many of you have so many questions. Logansport Police and State Police raid the Logansport compound where the parents of Bryson Mure live. We're told both former Colts player Daniel Muir and the mother of Bryson were in custody and arrested.
Yeah, now facing preliminary charges. We're also told that Bryson has been found and he is okay. We've been following this story for some time now, a couple weeks after police say Bryson went missing on June 16th.
Let's get right out to Eric Graves now on the scene early this morning with all of the details he's been able to gather so far. Eric, where do you want to start?
Angela and Zach, we do have some brand new information from Indiana State Police. We have charges for Daniel Muir and Kristin Muir. As I read these, I'm going to give you a closer look inside this compound. As we've been calling it this morning, we are off Sadler Hill Road here in Logansport. This is what we believe to be the back entrance to this property. Police have been working over on U.S. Highway 24, which is just on the other side of this tree line we're seeing. Back to these charges. We have been told that Daniel Muir has been arrested. 1 count of obstruction of justice, 1 count of domestic battery. We had told you earlier this week when I talked to the grandmother of Bryson Muir, but Bryson admitted it was his dad who had hit him in that picture we have been showing you since last week of Bryson with a black eye, split lip, and swollen face. Kristin Muir, Bryson's mother, is charged with 1 count of obstruction of justice. This is a look inside of the property we believe them to have lived on. Earlier, when we got here this morning at 7 o'clock, there were multiple state police cars out here, multiple SWAT vehicles. They have since left. We believe there is still 1 vehicle in there, and we're monitoring right now to see if there is any other activity happening inside. The most important update of the day, of course, Bryson Muir, the 14-year-old who has been missing for 17 days since June 16th, has been found and appears to be safe and well. He is now in the custody of the Cass County Department of Child Services. We are hoping to hear more from state police. We believe we'll be able to talk to them later on this morning as this saga, this unusual saga that state police has been dealing with the Muir family, now appears to be over here in Logansport at this large property.
Yeah, Eric.
Angela and Zach, I want to send it back to you.
Yeah.
Anything?
We have so many questions, and I know you've been looking in there and zooming in now. And if we can go back to that picture, because a lot of people have been asking, we got to talk a little bit about this earlier, about what life was like in that residence. People are saying, why are you calling it a compound? Why are you doing this? Well, if you can see, as we zoom in, we know that there were multiple men and women that lived here, and we know that they lived on the land. You can see that they garden, and I understand from just the people I've talked to and what we've been able to see on social media that they build those own places. I mean,
Okay, I want to point something out here, okay? You heard what she just said, okay? It's gone beyond just wanting to know how Bryson is. Now it's the case has been augmented to a whole other thing. Now it's, let's talk about the compound. I'm wondering what's going on with the compound. What's up with the people on the compound? You see what I'm saying? Now, all of this would not exist, okay, if first Daniel just kept his hands to himself, did not raise his child with heavy-handedly, right? And the other part is, if they just showed up with the kid and said he was alive and showed that he was alive and just faced the music at that moment, that would have been a different story. In fact, even so, if you go all the way back and say that he got in the car after being at grandma's and they kept him in that car, sure, the dad would most likely face some charges. He would have to face the music. Sure, it would probably be a headline, but it'd be a small headline, in my personal opinion. It wouldn't have gone and have become so big like it did if they just didn't exchange or didn't do an exchange, passing him into another car and driving him down speed, driving quickly to the compound to hide him out. If they just faced the music, if they just went to the law and said, here he is. All right. Yes. I raised my hand to him and just face and take accountability for those actions. We'd be in a different situation right now. They probably wouldn't even look into this compound. Like I said, the choices that they made are the reasons why they're in the situation that they're in right now. That's the reason. Now you got police. You got police and media now wanting to know what's going on in that compound. Just saying. It's very dumb, guys. It is very, very dumb. Okay? Wild stuff. And from what I gathered before, when this all happened, right? The mom called the grandmother asking for her to take the son. Kristin apparently called grandma and said, can he stay with you for a while? Now, in my understanding, it seems like she was trying to protect her son to a certain extent, right? At that time, saying, let's get him over there because it's bad, right? The punishments and what he's going through right now is bad. He needs to get off the compound. I don't know if that was an attempt on trying to keep him safe or if it was an attempt to hide him away so that maybe the people on the compound wouldn't see what Daniel did to his son, Bryson. But then at the same time, I don't know. I really don't know if Bryson is the only one that goes through the same type of child A. I just don't know. And I'm hoping that they're doing everything they can to look into this, law enforcement. We have one kid that's safe. Are the other kids on that compound safe? That's a question I hope we get answered very, very soon. My thoughts explained. Thank you so much for the love. Dole reminds me of Dwight York from Nuwabian Nation. That man was an absolute terror and taught hate and destroyed the lives of his followers, especially the young girls. Shut straightway down before another tragedy occurs. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. If your pastor, if one of your main leaders of the chapter of that, the leader of that chapter of Straightway Truth Ministries acts and treats and rears their child in this way, disciplines their child in this way, I guarantee you other fathers, other mothers, other families, well, I'm assuming it's the fathers because I think they believe that because of their religious beliefs, that, you know, how they view women, okay, it's very much they are submissive and demure. You know, fathers are the leaders and the main pillars of their household. So I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, they're the ones who discipline their children. Okay, I'm assuming just from what we've gathered. Now, if that is the case, yes, I mean, they need to look into this and they need to get as many people out of there as they can. Any person that feels like they're trapped, any person that feels like they're being, you know, attacked, aid or anything of that sort, they need to get them out as quickly as possible, right? That needs to happen as soon as possible. But now the gates have opened. Literally, the gates have opened on this compound. And now they're going to do a deep dive. I would hope that they start doing a real deep dive into how these kids are being raised. That's the main thing I'm worried about. The other thing, Savannah, thank you so much. Really quick. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so very much. I never understand organizations. I'll never understand organizations to refuse to hold their members accountable. It's like they don't realize a lot more people would have respect for them if they did the right and moral thing. Yeah. 110%, Savannah. I agree 110%. So again, if they are in a situation where kids are in dire straits, kids are getting hurt in this kind of way, I'm hoping that law enforcement is doing everything they can. I really do. Because this is bad. This is very, very bad. But outside of that, this young man, Bryson Muir, has been found. And he's alive and kicking. And I'm telling you what, this is a great morning. This is a great start to the morning. We still got a lot of very big tragedies and very big cases that we're going to be talking about even today. We got a new one that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in just a little bit, like in probably about an hour or so. So we are going to be busy. This is going to be a busy day. But nonetheless, I am very happy that he was found alive. I'm very happy that the father and mom have been arrested. What happened here should not have happened. All of these things could have been remedied if they just faced the music, took accountability for their actions, and just let police come in, check on Bryson when the call was first made, all the way back in June 16th. It didn't have to take over 2 weeks to finally get this young boy to safety. Like I said, I am still wondering about why it took so long. Solely because it's a compound and they were worried about there being too many weapons on the compound and they didn't want to witness or go through another Waco? I don't know. But it is interesting that it took 2 weeks to finally garner enough boots on the ground, suited and booted, with all their vehicles, heavy artillery, etc., to go in and get this young boy. It's wild, y'all. It is absolutely wild. But the parents did not do anything to help with this search. They refused to help. Then first they were willing to do it, then they didn't do it. Then when they refused, then they did, then they reneged. Then when at the last minute, or the last part, the last one, the last straw was yesterday when they were supposed to show up for a court appearance and they didn't show up. That's when police were like, okay, enough's enough. We're done. We tried to be nice. We tried to play the nice guy. But now the law's showing up at your front doorstep. Pretty wild stuff, guys. But nonetheless, let me say this. Even though it took a minute, shout out to law enforcement. All right? They did the damn thing. And I hope that this is not just some lazy, broad stroke, only covering the surface type of investigation and search inside that compound. I hope that they're interviewing every single family, every single kid, and making sure that those kids are okay. Period. Interview every single kid. Interrogate every single parent. Every single leader. All of them. Even the women, too. Let's not forget that, too. Okay, because I'm sure there's some women out there that are in there that are actually victims of DV too. Think about that too. But that, guys, is the show. Here it is, though. I'm very happy. We got one. Alive and safe. By us talking about this, by us bringing up awareness on this particular case, we're able to find or get this kid found and brought home safely. It's all about putting out that energy. It's all about putting out that information. And that's what matters the most. And we're going to keep doing this until we get as many people back alive and put somewhere safe. Period. I'm praying for this kid. I'm sure he's going to need a lot of counseling and a lot of help. But nonetheless, he's out of the clutches of evil. I hope he goes to his grandma. Real talk. I hope he goes to his grandma. That's what I'm hoping for. Because he needs to be around somebody that will protect him and take care of him. And it looks like grandma is the best choice, in my personal opinion. Again, shout out to the grandma and shout out to the aunt as well. Because without them doing this, I don't think anybody would know anything about this case. And I will also say this. Shout out to all y'all that have tuned in, that have been caring about this case, wanting to know what's been going on, wanting to bring awareness on this young man. Because without you guys, maybe the police would not feel so much pressure about bringing this young boy to safety. So shout out to y'all. You guys are incredible too. I appreciate you giving me the time to tell you guys this story. Now that this story, at least this chapter of the story has been closed, there's many more chapters to come. We will be keeping an eye on Bryson Muir's case Don't worry, we will, because I want to see them get locked up. I want to see the parents get locked up, and I can't wait to see that. All right. But we do have another show in a little bit that we need to talk about, a new case I haven't talked to you guys about. We need to bring awareness to that. So please be sure to not only hit that like button down below, of course, hit that reaction button. If you're watching on other platforms, please do that. Of course, hit that follow button. If you're watching on Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, any of those platforms, make sure you hit that follow button, please and thank you. Of course, if you're watching here on my main channel, crush that subscribe button. That would be awesome. Also, go over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips, The Pascal Show Clips. Go over there. Hit that subscribe button over there as well, because I will be doing summary breakdowns of these cases as well on there, much shorter, more condensed versions of these longer shows over there. So please go over there and show some love. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right, but subscribe here on the main channel. Hit that notification bell and set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Okay, a lot of times these are breaking stories and all that as well. Like this show this morning, 7-something in the morning. Damn, at least 7-something in the morning for me. So I appreciate you guys coming in so early in the morning to rejoice on great news. Okay? Please go and hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family. That'd be awesome. Or if you want to, go over to patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Going that way as we speak. Share some love. Become a member or become a patron over there. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. Anyway, guys, I will be seeing you guys very, very shortly. We got a brand new case we're going to be talking about, so be sure to tune in. Time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Talk to you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.